The digital currency conspiracy and its link to government control have become increasingly relevant in modern discourse. Many argue that central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, offer practical benefits like reducing fraud and improving efficiency in financial transactions, but some are convinced that their introduction is a step toward a dystopian future of surveillance and control. CBDCs, unlike decentralized cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, are controlled by central banks. Countries like China, Sweden, and the Bahamas have started experimenting with digital currencies, presenting them as solutions for modernizing payment systems. For supporters, these digital currencies enhance transparency, provide faster transactions, and curb illegal activities. However, critics argue that these systems open doors to government overreach. At the heart of the CBDC conspiracy theory is the fear that central banks could potentially monitor every transaction, stripping away financial privacy. Imagine a world where your spending behavior is constantly tracked by the state. If a government decides that certain purchases, like those of firearms, meat, or gasoline, are inappropriate, they could block those transactions altogether. Political figures like Ron DeSantis have voiced concerns about these digital currencies, suggesting that CBDCs could enable governments to implement social credit systems like China's, where citizens' behavior affects their financial privileges. Similarly, Nigel Farage has raised alarms that CBDCs could lead to total control over personal finances, essentially giving governments the power to freeze accounts or dictate what can and cannot be purchased. These fears about digital currencies are often connected to a larger narrative known as the Great Reset. The World Economic Forum, WEF, introduced this initiative during the COVID-19 pandemic, aiming to rebuild the global economy in a more sustainable and inclusive way. However, conspiracy theorists argue that the Great Reset is actually a ploy by global elites to establish a new world order with authoritarian control at its core. In this narrative, CBDCs are seen as a central tool of this power grab. The argument goes that by eliminating cash, governments will be able to monitor every aspect of our lives, thereby controlling not just what we buy but how we live. The Fourth Industrial Revolution, another concept promoted by the WEF, further fuels these fears by suggesting that digital currencies, artificial intelligence, and blockchain will reshape society. Conspiracy theorists argue that this transformation is less about progress and more about creating a surveillance state. While it's true that digital currencies raise privacy concerns, the more extreme scenarios, such as governments freezing accounts or micromanaging purchases, remain speculative. Central banks, including the European Central Bank, have insisted that any CBDC system would maintain privacy, especially for smaller transactions. Moreover, many policymakers have stated that CBDCs would complement, not replace, cash. It's important to recognize that these fears often stem from broader concerns about surveillance in the digital age. As more of our daily lives move online, questions about data privacy and government control are inevitable. However, CBDCs, in their current conceptual form, are designed primarily to enhance financial inclusion and security, not to restrict freedom. The discussion surrounding CBDCs is complicated and touches on real concerns about the future of financial systems. Policymakers must address these concerns head-on, ensuring robust protections for privacy and financial freedom. At the same time, the more extreme theories about CBDCs and the Great Reset need to be critically examined, as they often rely on speculation and misinterpretation of official policies. In summary, the digital currency conspiracy theory raises important questions about the balance between innovation and control. As the world moves toward more digital forms of payment, it will be crucial to navigate this transition thoughtfully, ensuring that technologies serve society without compromising fundamental freedoms.